Hello students, welcome to the lecture on concept of time value of money, and after this lecture we will be able to learn the following objectives. Explain the reasons for time value of money, discuss the cash flow is better than PE, define the future value of single cash flow, explain the future value of annuity, understand the present value of single cash flow, explain the internal rate of return IRR, and discuss the project selection and evaluation. Reasons for time value of money. Let us begin our lecture with money. Money has time value. A rupee today is more valuable than a year. Hence, it is on this concept the time value of money is based. Value of money is different at different points of time. Since money can be put to productive use, its value is different depending upon when it is received or paid. Money has time value because of the following reasons. Risk and uncertainty. Future is always uncertain and risky. There is no certainty for future cash inflows. Inflation. A rupee today represents a greater real purchasing power than a rupee a year hence. Consumption. Individuals generally prefer current consumption to future consumption. Investment opportunities. An investor can profitably employ a rupee received today to give him a higher value to be received tomorrow or after a certain period of time. The fundamental principle behind the concept of time value of money is that a sum of money received today is worth more than if the same is received after a certain period of time. Timelines and notation. Timeline shows the timing and the amount of each cash flow in cash flow stream. Cash flow is better than P upon E. Option: cash flow is better than PE. Cash flow ratios are a better measurement of a stock's value than price earnings ratio, P by E. The PE represents the ratio of the stock's price to its earnings per share, EPS. When a company's PE is very high or low, it gets top billing on the news. But the PE ratio has its own limitations, especially in the emerging economy. For one, this ratio is susceptible to accounting jargon, and secondly, this ratio is overtly biased in favor of low-income, high-growth companies. Discounted cash flow, DCF. Discounted cash flow, DCF analysis uses future free cash flow projections and discounts them, most often using the weighted average cost of capital to arrive at a present value, which is used to evaluate the potential for investment. Advantages of discounted cash flow. The DCF method is forward-looking and depends on more future expectations rather than historical results. The DCF method is more inward-looking, relying on the fundamental expectations of the business or asset, and is influenced to a lesser extent by volatile external factors. The DCF analysis is focused on cash flow generation and is less affected by accounting practices and assumptions. The DCF method allows expected operating strategies to be factored into the valuation. The DCF analysis also allows different components of a business or synergies to be valued separately. Disadvantages of discounted cash flow. The accuracy of the valuation determined using the DCF method is highly dependent on the quality of the assumptions regarding FCF, TV, and discount rate. Valuation is largely dependent on TV assumptions rather than operating assumptions for the business or the asset. Importance of cash. The reality is that without cash, a company would not last long. Price to cash flow. The price to cash flow is determined by dividing the stock's price by cash flow per share. Free cash flow. Free cash flow is a refinement of cash flow that goes a step further and adds one-time expenses, capital expenses, dividend payments, and other non-occurring charges back to cash flow. Future value of single cash flow. The future value of a single cash flow is its value after it accumulates interest for a number of periods. The future value of a series of cash flows equals the sum of the future value of each individual cash flow. Future value of annuity. The equation here calculates the future value of a stream of equal payments made at regular intervals over a specified period of time at a given rate. This value is referred to as the future value FV of an annuity. Price cash flow ratio is equal to stock price per share upon operating cash flow per share. The future value of an annuity formula assumes that the rate does not change. The first payment is one period away. The periodic payment does not change. How is the future value of an annuity derived? The future value of an annuity is the future value of a series of cash flows. The formula for the future value of an annuity or cash flows can be written as equal to P plus P bracket open 1 plus R bracket close till P bracket open 1 plus R bracket close n minus 1. Present value of cash flow. Cash flows can come in a mixed stream or a pattern of equal annual flows or even a perpetual stream. Mixed flows, equal flows, constant growth. Mixed flows. To compute the present value of a mixed stream, a spreadsheet is invaluable. Equal flows. The most straightforward application of the DCF method is when expected cash flows will be received in equal payments during the time period in question. Constant growth. A company grows and becomes more successful, its dividend payments will also steadily grow. Present value of single cash flow. There are three approaches to solving the problem of calculating the present value of a single amount. You can use the present value of a single amount formula. You can use a financial calculator. You can use a spreadsheet application such as Excel. The present value of a single amount is the exact opposite of future value. Here is the formula. PV is equal to FV in bracket 1 upon in bracket 1 plus I bracket close T bracket close. Internal rate of return IRR. The internal rate of return or IRR is the average annual return generated by an investment over a specific number of years from the time the investment is made. IRR can be used to rank several prospective projects a firm is considering. The higher a project's internal rate of return, the more desirable it is to undertake the project. The IRR is effective when used as a comparative gauge for analyzing several investment options. Investments having higher IRRs are preferable to those having lower IRRs. Implication of IRR under different conditions. When an investor, which might be an individual or a company, analyzes the viability of a prospective investment, such as a stock or a client project, the investor is interested in that investment's net present value NPV. The NPV is an arithmetic function that expresses something's estimated future value at the present time. The internal rate of return is the rate that would, in theory, make an investment's NPV equal to 0. Net present value. Net present value, as part of which internal rate of return is expressed, is the value today of an investment's possible future returns in terms of its net inflow of cash when subtracted from the cost of the investment. Project selection and evaluation. Whether the method issued in manufacturing or service organizations, the future of a deployment is always influenced by the quality of project selection. Project selection typically starts with generating ideas. Methodology for idea filtration. Once project ideas are collected, they need to be evaluated further to determine if they fit within the organization's critical parameters. To increase the chances of success, all ideas generated for projects need to be evaluated on 4 parameters: linkage with organizational importance, feasibility of execution, organizational buy-in, organizational benefit. A questionnaire can be used to test how well ideas fit within the 4 parameters. For example, linkage with organizational importance. Is the idea linked with the business objective and priorities of the organization? Is the idea linked with the process-specific pain? Is the idea linked with internal performance measures or a service level agreement with a customer? Feasibility of execution. Is the solution to the problem already known? Is data available for understanding the current magnitude of the problem? Is a system available for capturing data? What is the repeatability of the process to which the idea is linked? Is the idea linked with multiple sub-processes? Does the process linked with the idea require client or customer approval before making any changes? Organizational buy-in. Is the champion interested in pursuing the idea as a project? Are suitable resources available for carrying out the idea as a project? Summary. Now in the end, let us summarize what we have learnt in this lecture. Financial decisions such as the purchase of assets or procurement of funds affect the firm's cash flows in different time periods. In an inflationary economy, the money received today has more purchasing power than the money to be received in future. Cash flow ratios are a better measurement of a stock's value than price-earnings ratio (PE). Free cash flow is a refinement of cash flow that goes a step further and adds one-time expenses, capital expenses, dividend payments and other non-occurring charges back to cash flow. The discount rate often used in capital budgeting that makes the net present value of all cash flows from a particular project equal to 0.